The Grind, a Minnesota sports podcast.
I am fired up today, and there is no messing around. The hat is backwards. I am fired up, and I'm going to let this podcast loose because there is just an outrageous theory. I'll call it a myth surrounding Minnesota Vikings quarterback JJ McCarthy. People have been hammering me. I got a comment on my Facebook page. I get zillions of comments on my Facebook page if you want to go check it out. The Grind, a Minnesota sports podcast. Check that out. You get comments if you just want to laugh. I don't get offended by these comments, but someone responded and said, "Why are you so pessimistic about JJ McCarthy?" And my response is very simple. I am not pessimistic about JJ McCarthy. But I am not going to sit here and call him God's greatest creation at the quarterback position. I am not about to sit here on this podcast and label McCarthy the best drafted QB in Vikings history. So many people want to say that JJ McCarthy is going to pick up right where Sam Darnold left off. And I think that is outrageous. I think that is ridiculous. Because at one point, Darnold was a top 5 QB in the league last season. 35 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, game-winning drives. Amazing deep balls. Gorgeous deep balls. So I am not pessimistic about McCarthy. I don't think he's going to be a bust, but I don't think he's going to be an all-time QB in the Vikings' first season with him at starting quarterback. So the way I label myself is an objective Minnesota Vikings fan because so many people get so lost in the buildup and the excitement that comes with the NFL season being less than 50 days away. So many people get lost in the slow motion hype videos that every social media team posts across the NFL. People get lost in this stuff. They lose their minds. They get excited. They think with their heart and not with their mind. So when I see everyone proclaiming JJ McCarthy as a QB that's going to step in and the Vikings offense is not going to skip a beat from last season, I think that is really off. And you're missing the point. And you're missing this transition, the improvements, the figuring it out, the process to getting better. And that's not even what I'm fired about. This is a completely different topic because I received a comment that was a fair question. He said, "Why are you so pessimistic? Please explain." I am not pessimistic, but I am not gushing about McCarthy because of one random throw in training camp. The dude has not taken a significant offensive snap in 2 years since he played quarterback at the University of Michigan. I do not call a preseason snap a significant snap. Okay? But let's talk about what I'm really fired up about. That was just a precursor to the fired up action. But first, I need to tell you about 5-Star Bath Solutions of Minneapolis because they transformed our bathroom in 48 hours. Everything. From a new flooring, to the new shower, to a tub, to the surround. The countertops and mirror, we went from a single to a double sink. Vanity. Plus, our shower had mold. I said, do we need to outsource this? Because we don't really want to. Can you take care of it? They came in and take care of it. We had an unhealthy living situation with mold in our shower, and they wiped it away in 48 hours, as well as gave us the bathroom masterpiece of our dreams. 5-Star Bath Solutions of Minneapolis. Contact them today and get a free consultation. They have affordable payment plans. 5-Star Bath Solutions of Minneapolis. All right. When the hat is backwards, you know I'm ready to play. And I'm fired up because I don't wear my hat backwards too much. I'm one of those guys where it's like, I'm 33 years old. I don't want to be one of those hip, cool. I'm trying to be cool. We're going to wear my hat backwards. But when I do wear my hat backwards, it's like a switch. Have you ever seen the movie Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone? It's the arm wrestling movie. It's like a switch. My hat goes backwards. You know I'm locked in and ready to go. All right. The Minnesota Vikings. First training camp practice was yesterday. Reporters inside, watching practice. Can't video practice, but can report on things that they see. And Kevin Seifert, ESPN, reported that JJ McCarthy demonstrated his deep arm. He rifled a ball down the right sideline to Jordan Addison for a 60-yard tutty. And the Minnesota Vikings social media team shared it. And it's on there if you want to check it out. Because right now is hype season. And they're going to share those kinds of things. And one of the common misconceptions about JJ McCarthy, I'll call this a outrageous myth. Outrageous myth is the fact that he does not have the arm strength to deliver the football down the field. And I was thinking about it because what this podcast does, it thinks about its opinions, it thinks about its takes. Maybe it's not about how far you can throw the football down the field, but more about how quickly you can get the ball down the field, because there's a difference. There's a difference between throwing a 60-yard lollipop and throwing a 60-yard dart. Maybe that's the criticism surrounding JJ McCarthy. Not that he can't throw it down the field, but his throws are too lollipoppy. But then you pull up the fact about JJ McCarthy's NFL Combine in 2024. And let me just share this with you. JJ McCarthy at the 2024 NFL Combine, his throwing velocity at the 2024 NFL Combine was noted as one of the fastest recorded. He topped out at 61 miles per hour, which was the second highest mark at the Combine, behind only Joe Milton III, who tied the record with 62 miles per hour. Josh Allen is also among those who have thrown at 62 miles per hour at the Combine. So JJ McCarthy was 1 mile per hour less than Josh Allen and Joe Milton III, who have recorded the fastest combine throwing speeds. Which makes me wonder where ridiculous myths and theories, where do these come from? Because McCarthy, throughout his college career, demonstrated an arm that could throw the football down the field. In the preseason game when Justin Jefferson was mic'd up, McCarthy threw the football down the field, and it was a long bomb for a touchdown. We've analyzed it, we've examined it, we've taken our objective takes into the situation, and I do not know how people have come with this idea that McCarthy does not have enough arm strength. It is a myth that has been debunked because of what he has shown in practice, what he showed at Michigan, and what he recorded at the 2024 NFL Combine. That's objective. Another story coming out of the purple surrounds Josh Metellus and his contract. But first, I need to tell you about Hochland Farms beef, because they have the best rotationally grazed 100% grass-fed beef. You look at a store and you go pick out some beef, some steak, some chuck roast, and you're looking at $7 to $8 a pound for a steak or a chuck roast. It's $4 a pound at Hochland Farms beef. Everything is $4 a pound. You don't have to worry about where your beef comes from because it's 100% grass-fed. There's no pesticides, no garbage. You buy straight from the source. Hochland Farms beef. If you want to feed your family the best beef, contact Hochland Farms at 952-491-1541. That's 952-491-1541. Contact Jared, give him a call, say Tim sent you, and he'll give you a little discount. Hochland Farm beef, 952-491-1541. Josh Metellus, his contract situation. This comes from Will Regetz on X. Josh Metellus on choosing to practice without limitations despite his contract situation. I'm not too worried about what's going on that side. I'm just doing my part, being here for the team, trying to be a leader, a captain, and I can't do that on the sideline. A big part of it is the guy I am in the building is a guy who's out in front leading the way. So it makes no sense for me not to do it. So it appears that Josh Metellus is participating in training camp without any restrictions. Because throughout the OTA sessions, he did the whole hold-in thing where he showed up, but he didn't really participate because he didn't want to get injured because he was holding out. Just like TJ Hawkinson's, he had a back injury, then he had an ear thing. Then his contract got surrounded, and magically those things cleared up. It's like, who do these people think we are? It's like, what a bunch of bullshit. My back. My ear. My arm. As soon as you get the contract extension, everything's cleared up and I'm ready to go. Why can't we just call it what it is and say it's a hold-in? Why do we have to be so wordy and so mystical or hide these things? This makes no sense. It's dumb. But the fact that Metellus is participating, hopefully he gets his contract extension soon. It's cool. And it's important for the Vikings defense because they utilize him in so many different positions. Safety, a linebacker, blitz. Josh Metellus is, people call him the Swiss Army knife because he can play so many different positions. But the Swiss Army knife is one of those weapons that's so powerful. And the problem with Metellus is, although he can play so many different positions, I don't know if he is the elite of the elite at any of the positions he plays. He's not a bad player. He's probably above average, but he's not a top 10 safety in the league. They came out with their top 10 safeties in the league, and Josh Metellus was not on that list. He's not going to be a top 10 linebacker in the league either. So he's a good player, not a great player, and he's above average, But what Josh Metellus is probably asking for is top safety linebacker money because of the versatility that he brings to the football field. The problem is that the Vikings, they utilize him in different ways. However, he's not a top player at any of the different positions that he does play. He's a versatile defender that can play multiple positions, but he doesn't dominate a single position like Harrison Smith has throughout his career. You could argue that because Josh Metellus plays multiple positions and is versatile, it's because he isn't great at one position. Because if he was the top-rated safety in the league, think Kyle Hamilton from the Baltimore Ravens, do you think they put him at the linebacker spot? No. Do you think they move him around the field? I mean, maybe at different spots as a safety, but they don't put him as a linebacker because he's a great safety and you want him back there. So, as cool as it is that Josh Metellus can play multiple positions, it's also a sign that he isn't great at a specific position. Does that make sense? And then lastly, Kevin O'Connell talked about CJ Ham at one of his opening press conferences when training camp opened. And he talked about CJ Ham's longevity. And I'm looking at the Purple Persuasion on X, the best Minnesota Vikings account. Kevin O'Connell is quoted as saying this: "Whatever CJ Ham has been asked to do, he does it. It doesn't surprise me every year. You're counting those captain votes and CJ's name shows up." CJ Ham has been a fullback for the Vikings for years and is one of the most beloved players. He's a Christian, and I love that. He's respected. He's always a captain. But the objective part of my mind comes out in this moment because a fullback, what is a fullback asked to do necessarily? They're asked to block and maybe catch a pass here and there. So when I see O'Connell's quote as whatever CJ Ham has been asked to do, he does it, I think he plays a role on the special teams and he blocks for the running back or for the QB if he's in on a third down play. What CJ Ham is asked to do is very limited because he's a fullback. He's not going to be the fastest player on the field. He's not going to be the guy with the elusive moves. He's not going to be the guy that catches passes on a consistent basis. I'm sure he does do everything he is asked to do. And he's a captain. He's well respected. But my point is this: he is not asked to do all that much besides block and run down the field on a special teams play. So I see this quote and people want to eat it up because CJ Ham is one of the favorites among Minnesota Vikings fans. But can we also call it what it is? Can we also label it what it is and say, yes, he's asked to do that. However, he's not asked to do all that much. Block and run down the field on special teams and make a tackle. So, I don't know. Just my take. Thanks for joining the show. Remember, 5-Star Bath Solutions of Minneapolis for all your bathroom needs. Get a full remodel in 48 hours. Increase the value of your home. And Hokeland Farms Beef, 952-491-1541 for the best rotationally grazed 100% grass-fed beef. 952-491-1541. 952-491-1541. Thank you for joining the show today, and I hope you all have a good day.